Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Monday, January 20th, and you are kicking it with Free Kicks on Matrix Monday. This 2025, I'm hoping to up my stream frequency and finally hit my goal of 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So join me as I unbox toys, new ones, revisit old favorites, play my favorite video games, interview members of the toy and gaming community. And since it's Matrix Monday, which is my Transformers themed unboxing series, we're going to be looking at the Studio Series Optimus Prime from the Transformers 1 movie. And I was on the fence with this figure for a while since there's so many different options out there: Hasbro, YOLO Park, MDLX, and more. And a couple weeks ago, I unboxed the YOLO Park Cogless guy, who's right behind me, actually, right over here. Right there. I have him on the on Canada's bike from Akira, but we got this guy. I'll show him. There he is. And maybe we'll keep him out here to do a comparison later on. But so we took a look at him, and I have the MDLX on pre-order, and came back to this because I want an alt mode, because neither the YOLO Park that I just showed you nor the MDLX have an alt mode because they don't transform. So this is the one that I'm thinking of taking a look at. The other thing is that when I picked this up with Drew a while back, the one thing that we noticed that the matrix of leadership was missing. So I could show you here. Right out of the window, there is this little plastic flap there. And so I was wondering, like, oh, did somebody actually just steal it out of the chest piece there, or what? Do they just ship? So maybe they ship with the matrix of leadership in the packaging with the Energon axe, but we will find out right now, actually. Let's go ahead before we crack into this. Go ahead and get my handy unboxing gloves on. Oops. How's everybody's Monday? How's everybody's weekend? Happy MLK Day to those who observe. Lots of updates, lots of things going on in the world with TikTok coming and going, or going then coming back, rather. The Switch 2 launch last week, a whole bunch of Hasbro announcements, lots of stuff. So if there's anything specific that you wanted to talk about, let me know in the chat, and we can certainly get to that. But otherwise, let's get back to Optimus Prime over here. Let's go and take a look at the front. So first and foremost, you can see the Transformers 1 logo right there on the top corner. See right into the window, the Takara Tomy and Hasbro logos, of course. And then you have this nice art of Optimus Prime in the center. The Studio Series line, because this is based on either the animation or the movies. And the Optimus Prime logo with Hasbro on the bottom, 8+. Pretty basic. Take a look at the sides. That's Studio Series art there, 112. Nice view of Optimus. And then you have the toy render on the side over here with the Autobot insignia. You can see that matrix of leadership shining bright through. And then the seal of authenticity over here. On the top, you have the Transformers 1 logo. And then on the bottom, you have the usual legal stuff. On the back, you can see big screen inspired scale, detail, and backdrop, and the render of Optimus Prime there with the Energon axe. You also see some art with him and the matrix of leadership. It says that it transforms in 25 steps, and there's the alt mode right there that we're looking for. And you can see the rest of the stuff here. So let's go ahead and crack into this. Right. And of course, we have this insert and the transformation stuff. I'll just toss this box. I recycle them anyway. Same with the legal junk. I will keep these transformation instructions handy right here. And of course, you get this cool backdrop Not something that I use, but I think that it's just nice that they provide collectors with something that you can display and fancy your shelf up when you aren't investing in an all-out diorama. So kind of cool, but will get recycled. And then let's just take a look at the tray with Optimus Prime right over here. Looking pretty good. If I see that face, that head sculpt, all the paint detailing looks pretty good. Not seeing any noticeable defects right now. Taking a look at the rest of the body, everything is looking kind of good. There is kind of this weird kind of finish over there where it was kind of clipped off the sprue or whatever the mold was, but that's okay. This is something that people talked about where he isn't actually silver or like metallic. He actually looks a little bit more gold, a little bit more beige. So pre-yellowed is what a lot of people are kind of joking around about, just because over time, white plastic will sometimes kind of fade to that weird, yellow color. The legs and the paint, everything looks good, but am noticing a little bit of a difference here on the right or the left thigh. There is more paint, but it looks like there's a slight defect on there. I'm not sure if you can make that out. Not fully painted around that top, but a very minor detail. And then we're taking a look at the feetsies and all the things that kind of tie him up there. So let's go ahead and cut him out, free him, and then we'll get to the accessories in just a little bit. So we'll start right here and get a snip there, one right over here, another one across the top, and the bottom, or the waist rather. That should be everything. Oh, missed his right wrist, so we're gonna snip this guy and get rid of these little plastic bits. And then let's grab the accessories in the back. And again, the big thing that I'm looking for is that matrix of leadership, which is seemingly not here, and that would be problematic because the window design just allows people just to get direct access to the to the chest cavity there, and it can just kind of fold up. So there have been times where I see toys fully swapped or even just like heads like stolen or whatever else. So whoops, we'll see what we have here. And sure enough, there is no matrix of leadership inside, which is super unfortunate. So I'm not sure. Oh, I lied. It fell out. Matrix of leadership secured, confirmed. Thank you. So I do not need to return this, which is great. So we'll take these out and we will recycle this. And first and foremost, let's go ahead and take a look at the figure a little bit closer one more time. Here he is, Optimus, looking pretty good. Still trying to look for any types of defects or anything else I should kind of be looking for. Trying to get him into a normal position, make sure everything is kind of pegged around. I guess his smokestacks need to be installed as well. So, but let's take a look. And this is what I was talking about. If you take a look at, compare the left and the right thighs there, thigh gear, you can see how there's a lot more paint on here versus there. But again, very minor. Let's see here if there's instructions on connecting. Yeah. So the first thing that they tell you to do before I do a full articulation and look at the figure, I will add the smokestacks. So these are two of the smokestacks that come with the figure here. Look pretty much identical, red mold with that gray gold kind of like paint. And they say that they just tab in directly into these 5mm pegs here. So that's one. And then two. That peg into this port. There we go. All right. And then it looks like there's two jet pieces that store in the back. So we'll turn it around, and I don't know what this is. I think it's the front part that sort of plugs into front part of the alt mode. But it says that that plugs in the underside of here. So I got to flip the back up and then snap that in somehow. Oh, I see what's going on. So there's these little pegs on the back, and then you just seemingly slot them in this way. There you go. So that's attached in the back, his backpack. And then it looks like I can just fold this down, and then now the Energon axe actually gets stored in the back. So you see there's two slots over here, and then you have these two pegs right there and right there. Maximal versus Maximal. What's good, man? How you doing? And so if you want to store them, the Energon axe, then you just use this thin peg, toss that right into the slot here, and then there you go. Weapon storage. Which it works. And then I'm curious to know, I guess he doesn't come with an ion cannon, which is strange. Usually something that is included with every Optimus figure. But the last thing we do is the Matrix of Leadership here. Again, I was really worried that this wasn't included because, again, you could see it right. You can flip his chest open right out of the window there, and sometimes collectors and stuff, they just get shady and kind of take that stuff out. So trying to get good focus here because there is really good detail on that silver paint. It's all blue transparent, but the paint detailing is pretty nice. Doing great, thanks. Nice. Transformers fan? So we flip this up, and then yeah, so there is a peg right there, and then that's where you toss the Matrix of Leadership. So we'll go ahead and do this. And that tabs in nicely, and I don't need to worry about that falling out. So I can give it a shake, and he's pretty good. Go ahead and close that. Well, let's see here. We'll go back to a little feature in just a second before we go through the transformation. I did want to at least do a really quick comparison between him and Orion Pax. So here, again, this is the Optimus Studio Series from Transformers 1. And then let's go ahead and get Orion Pax for a comparison. This is the YOLO Park kit, which I think pretty great value, really stiff joints. There is some areas where like the wrist pegs sometimes pop off and what have you, but I mean, the silhouette and the articulation that you get with these figures is definitely a lot more than you will get on a Studio Series figure or most Hasbro figures. I mentioned that I do have the Optimus Prime MDLX 30 on pre-order, so that one also non-transforming, and really excited to see that one because you can actually go from Optimus Orion Pax cogged to the Optimus Prime version. So he has the ion cannon and a whole bunch of other types of stuff. So I don't have any 30 figures. Really excited for that one. Here you go, Orion Pax, and then the other one that we have here is Optimus Prime, and you could see them side by side and how Optimus these guys scale not bad. I think that when this is probably the size that he is when he's cogged, before he turns into Optimus Prime, and then I would expect the Optimus Prime to be even taller. So, but I think that still the fact that the Optimus Prime version is taller and beefier than the Orion Pax model kit, that's a pretty good scale, I would say. And just for an exact number, we have Orion packs at about 5.5 inches tall. And then when we take a look at Optimus, sorry, I'm going to just take this Energon Axe off really quickly so we can this tabs out pretty easily, but at least there's storage. Okay, tab. Okay. Optimus he stands at 6 inches, so he's just half an inch taller than Orion Pax, which is a pretty good comparison. Maximal versus Maximal says that I'm definitely a huge fan. I do Transformer stop motion videos. Yo, that is sick. If you have a channel or if you have Instagram or anything like that, plug that in the comments so I could pin it and pull it up on the stream right now so we can get some people following you. That's really cool, man. Would love to see your stuff. So what was I going to do? Oh yeah, so we did the comparison of both of these figures. We'll get this guy out of the way again. But let's take a look at the figure now that he is, fully prepped, I guess. So what we did is we added the smokestacks on the side over here. So that gives him more width and breadth, like around the shoulders, and then also gives him that iconic kind of silhouette of having the smokestacks there. And this piece is really friggin' bothering me, so I'm going to go ahead and put this away on the side because I know it's more for the alt mode than anything. And then the main thing that changed was, the back. We didn't go over the back, the backpack. So usually a lot of the kibble and other types of stuff kind of folds. This is actually a really nice, I have no complaints about the back on this guy. But except for the fact that, this piece over here for the alt mode plugs in and clips, pegs in, via tension on both of these. But, if you move them around too much, then it seems that it pops off pretty easily, which kind of sucks. But what can you do? May as well get into the articulation while we have him in hand, and then we can switch to transformation after that. So taking a look at the head, that's on a ball joint. We just go ahead and can, move pretty much forward and back. Not so much side to side movement there, but you could spin 360, and it's primarily that cutout over here that allows you to kind of rock that neck back. And then because of the transformation and the way that this panel works, this can actually bend up a little bit. So with that being said, you can kind of look down a little bit further. Kind of rocks, you could see it, how it kind of rocks in place over here for a little bit more range of motion. All right, let's take a look at the shoulders. So for the shoulders, okay, again, I'm going to get rid of this because this is falling off all the time and super annoying. For the shoulders, we have this rotation, so you do get a little bit of a butterfly over here. The only thing is that it's obstructed by the backpack and this big chest plate, but still, you can still kind of, work it on both shoulders, and I think it pulls out a little bit to maybe give you a little bit more clearance. So that aspect of the transformation is actually pretty cool. Give you a little bit more range of motion there as well. The arms can spin. And again, you probably want to detach and depeg that, dislocate that shoulder to be able to get that kind of range of motion, but it is an interesting workaround. No bicep swivel, but again, this whole shoulder design actually is pretty cool because it's mainly for transformation, but it does end up giving him more range of motion. Taking a look at the elbow here, you got a 90-degree elbow bend, and then just a rotation on the wrist. No hand articulation here, just a standard peg. And then because of the transformation as well, you do get these this clearance that you get above, so you can go into this kind of over the shoulder T pose over here. There is not really an ab crunch forward, but there is kind of like an ab crunch like back, but then you get that gap on the top over here. And then this does articulate as well because you can expose that matrix, and we'll get them into a different pose right after this. But otherwise, the top swivels over here, not at the actual waist. I don't believe it does. Let's try. Nope, there is no waist joint. It's just this upper torso rotation here. And then taking a look at the legs, also doesn't seem to get good clearance, but it does look like this folds up to some degree. Yeah, so the hip skirt kind of moves up, and then that can get out of the way to do a higher kick. So you can kick that high and then go this far back. And then that skirt can just kind of come right back down. And then he can do the splits, I think. Yep, he could kind of do the Van Damme pose here. And then these are just on ball joints. There is no calf cut or anything around this side, but the knee does rotate. And we will bend 90. And let's see if it goes more. Nope, 90 degrees. Taking a look a little bit further. There's no calf or boot cut or anything like that, but I imagine that he's going to have a pretty decent ankle rocker because of the transformation. Yep. So that rocks out. It doesn't, or rocks, yeah, rocks, I guess, in, does not rock out. And then from a toe articulation perspective, this does not move, but the toe goes in due to transformation. That's not too bad. And the last thing I wanted to show was the whole positioning of the matrix of leadership. Is the matrix of leadership is on the inside, right over here in the chest cavity. So you can pull this out. Come on. And you can see these extra little bits of the blue part of the matrix on the sides over here. They actually tab into his fists. So right here, you could see a cut. And we just got to get this into position here. So I'm going to use that shoulder articulation to just kind of pull his arms out a little bit more. And then we're going to peg in, again, this peg of the matrix of leadership right into here on one hand. And then you do the exact same thing on this peg over here. So let's go ahead and try and get them connected. There you go. And then I'm just going to try and arrange the arms a little bit more. Give me a hot second. Should be maximal versus maximal. Nice. I'll take a look on Insta. Again, if you want to drop your link in the chat specifically to your channel or your Insta or whatever else like that to make it easier for people, go ahead and do that. I think this is how you pose the matrix. I'm just double checking here. Oh no, it looks like he just extends his hands forward. So give me a second. Shoulders forward or shoulders facing back. Then let's try this. There we go. You got to just kind of rotate, point the arms forward and then rotate the forearms towards each other. Whoa. And then slowly eject the matrix like I just did. 1, 2. There you go. So that's how you can pose Optimus holding that matrix of leadership. Looks pretty cool, right? I don't know if that's ever been a feature with any Transformer in the past, so that's pretty cool. All right, go ahead and put this away, put it back into the chest cavity. So all you need to do is flip this up. And then that's a little peg there, socket on the back of the matrix. Come on, focus. Focus. No, yeah, there you go. You can see that slot in the back of the matrix. That pegs in here. And I'm really happy that it's there because, like I said, I was kind of freaking out when I picked it up and I noticed that the window was exposed, and again, you can't see the matrix on the inside there. And collectors and other types of people that collect, not just collect toys, but maybe even kids might have just snagged that piece out. So cool that it was actually packaged in with the rest of the accessories. So we'll go ahead and I'm gonna peg this in just for now because I know that's how it was instructed to put him together on the basics. And then we'll take a look at the instructions and get him into his alt mode so we can do a couple more comparisons. I definitely want to get him beside the 86 Optimus Prime and the G1 at the very least, just to see what the scale is like. So first things first, take your Optimus and spin the head around like so. And then the next thing you do is fold it forward, apparently, like so. And then that all tucks away into the chest cavity like this. And then we take a look at the figure's toes and fold them down. They click in just like that. And then we turn the whole figure around and we open or flip these flaps from the inside out. So just take that whole piece, flip it over here. Same thing here. Take that piece, flip it all the way over there, and bring this backpack up. All right, so now we rotate the backpack. And it looks like this actually comes off. So we're going to take this piece off in the meantime. Rotate the backpack this way and then fold it back up. And we turn the whole figure around again. And then bend this whole part back. So now it says we have the top folded back. Okay, and then should be a 90-degree. The arms are still down. Now it's saying to flatten everything. Yeah, so this is everything is flattened out, which is fine. Oh, sorry. Wait, let's do this. This. Then we rotate the waist. And then the front piece over here folds down, folds up. Yes, this folds. What's going on? This folds up? Or this folds up? This folds up. That folds up. There's another piece underneath. There we go. This hip skirt keeps flying off too, which is kind of weird. But all right, let's go ahead and fold this up here. And then it looks like the arms will turn up. Figure out this picture here. Arms fold. Oh, these arms fold out. So these arms fold out like that. So now they're flat. And then I could flip them in. Turn that in. And then I turn this arm forward like that. And this one too. Trying to figure out how and when this clears. But it looks like this peg goes into, so it looks like this peg over here goes into that slot right there. With live streams, sorry, I gotta head to bed. All good, Maximal versus Maximal. I'm gonna check out your stop motion when I get a chance. So thanks for coming by. Definitely appreciate you visiting here. Oh, I see. So this shoulder piece over here, the hinge comes down and then that turns in, I think. Yes. So now that we bend that down, there is a peg right over here and there is a slot right over there. Let's try and rotate and peg that in somehow. One and two. Yeah. And then we'll do it again on the other side. So I needed to bring the visor down. But now, again, there's that peg there. There's the slot here. That comes together. And then on the bottom, you have the bottom piece right there. That pegs in right there. Push those two together. Now it looks like now that that's pegged in, we turned around. Whoops. Told you this hip skirt is no bueno. Just coming off, but let's put that back on. It's just on two pegs right there. Okay. Taking a look at the backpack, we have the top that was flipped up, and then it looks like there are two slots right here and two pegs, thin pegs right there. So those clip in from the top. So that's nice and flush. Let's go ahead and take a look. It says to do a 180 from the underside. And then this whole part folds in like that. And already, again, this hip skirt is driving me nuts. It's like super loose. You could see right there. Here, let me see if I could show you on the screen. There's so much space in between this peg and the slot. So I might need to heat it up and just kind of flex and like bend them in so there's more tension like around the sides there to grab the pegs on each of the sides, which sucks. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and that folds up, it says, and then we fold the legs back down. So when we do this, the legs come back down this way, I think, like this. Okay. So we flattened him out a little bit. It looks like the hips kind of bend in slightly. I feel like I'm gonna launch that hip skirt again. Anyways, that, and then we peg these two together. So there is a small peg there, and that tabs in right on that spot right here. Let's tab those in. Let's see what else. Turn this hip out slightly. There we go. Now, the last thing are the arms. So inside the forearm, there's that socket right there and that red peg right there. And then those two plug in on each side. Do that over here as well. And then the last thing looks like is the hands. The hands might clip in too. Let's see. No, they don't. But okay. Okay, I think that's it. Interesting because it looks like this peg system has to go into the hand somehow, but maybe it is. Let's see here. You don't see any instruction for that, but I'm going to try and do it anyway. There we go. Seems to work. Do it on the other side as well. There we go. Okay, and then to store the energon axe, we need to split that, and then the axe goes in the center. But before we store the energon axe, I just want to take a look at this alone. This came out of the peg. Come on. That one weird leg from before. Something to get some leverage here. Let's see. This guy. Just want that there to have that clean connection there. Okay, so that is all squared away. And yeah, before I store the axe, I know that this can be tossed in the front as well. So I guess this is optional, his additional guns. So these two pieces peg in right in the front, like so. Yeah, these two pieces there into those two pieces on the bottom. 2 ports on the bottom, rather. Plug that in. There you go. And then you have all 4 cannons mounted on the front right now. And the last thing that we need to show with this is just the axe storage. So snap this apart. Again, just pull apart the legs there. And then there are 2 slots on the inside right there behind the knee. So this slides in to one port, and then you can go ahead and use the other side over here. There you go. And that's the storage for the Energon axe just on the back there. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to do while it's in its alt mode is just compare him to the Orion packs. I know that, this guy doesn't transform because he's cogless, but just so you can see what he looks like side by side with an alt mode and the cogless mode. These guys look pretty good together. I don't think they're too bad, right? And if you measure Optimus's length, he is just shy of, or just about 6 inches long, and just over 3 and an eighth, I guess, wide, and then measures at just about just over 2¼ inches in height. So, and he does roll. He has these wheels over here on the bottom, also wheels on the front here. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get this guy oriented so that he can actually spin around, or wheel around rather. There you go. Optimus, and let's go ahead and grab 86 Optimus Prime and G1 Optimus Prime. Hold up. All right, so let's get some more primes in the mix here. So let's go and compare him to G1 Optimus Prime first. So you can see the similarities in his G1 Earth mode, truck mode. So see how they compare side by side. Get this guy out of the way, and then very noticeable difference because he is a commander class versus a deluxe class. Again, Studio Series Optimus Prime from the Transformers movie. And this is again deluxe class compared to the, I think the Brave Commander series is like a leader class or at least a Voyager class. This is the Commander class, 86 Optimus Prime. So noticeably larger in every way. But there you have it. You have 3 different Optimus Primes, OG 86, you have Studio Series 86, and then you have the Transformers movie 1 Optimus Prime over here. And as I mentioned, the main reason why I picked them up was just to have something in the alt mode because I have this YOLO Park Optimus Prime already, then this alt mode to kind of pair with it, and then the Optimus Prime MDLX, which is on pre-order. So excited to get that in the future. But I think that is it. Just wanting to take a look at the Transformers 1 Optimus Prime, of course, something that I picked up with Drew. The biggest thing was that, the worry that I had of not seeing the matrix of leadership in the chest cavity when we were at the store. But it's good to know that it's actually in the packaging with all the accessories. So something that I should have probably just taken a look at through YouTube reviews and other types of stuff that's out there, but something I wanted to experience for myself as well. So the next stream, I don't know when, but the Matrix Monday theme is definitely something that I want to keep going because I am a big TF collector and I have a lot of Transformers toys to show, to unbox, and to even revisit. So Matrix Monday will be a thing from that perspective. On other Mondays, I'm going to be doing Marvelous Mondays as well with Marvel Legends collectibles or Mafex and SH Figure Arts. And then last but not least, some Mario Mondays, especially when expecting that the Switch 2 will be launching with the Mario Kart that was previewed in the trailer that they launched last week. So, in the meantime, of course, I will be playing Super Smash Brothers and other Switch titles, retro titles, but definitely take a look and take a look at my other stream in regards to reacting to the IGN 30-point detail on the Switch 2 and my thoughts towards that. Nintendo's definitely playing it safe, and I think safe is good because really, I think the Switch is a really great console for what it is. So, keeping it more to the same, increasing the battery life, the power, the size, and all that other types of stuff makes sense. So we'll see what launch titles come up. But otherwise, I mentioned this before. If you're into Transformers collectibles, Marvel video games, specifically Nintendo and retro style games, definitely this is a channel for you. And I hope to be streaming more frequently to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark by the end of the year. So we'd really love your support with a sub, a like, notification, comment, whatever it is you could do to support. But otherwise, we will see you on the next one. Peace.